Most welcome to today's lesson. We shall be looking at quadratic identities. We have 3 identities, 2 of which are perfect squares and the difference of 2 squares. We shall start with the bracket of a plus b squared. So when we are expanding that bracket, since we have a square, that means that this bracket is multiplying itself once. That is a plus b and then a plus b, whereby we get a into a plus b and plus b into a plus b, which gives us a squared plus ab plus ba plus b squared. And now if we are to simplify this, we come up with a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Then from this very expression, we see that a plus b squared is the same as a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. But if we are to take this the other side, we come up with a plus b squared minus, because it is a positive, so when it crosses it becomes a minus, minus 2ab equaling to a squared plus b squared. So this one we could call it the sum of 2 squares is derived from the perfect square. Then our second identity, that's when we have the square of the difference, that is a minus b squared, which is expanded as a minus b times a minus b, and therefore that gives us a into a minus b minus b into a minus b, which will give us a squared minus ab minus ba, then plus b squared, because when you multiply a negative and a negative, you get a positive. So we simplify to get a squared minus 2ab, since these are the same, plus b squared. That means that a minus b squared is equivalent to a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. That is our second identity. Now, our third identity is what we call the difference of 2 squares. In the 2 identities above, we had 2 brackets of the same signs. For instance, we had a plus b and a plus b. We also looked at a minus b and a minus b. In our third identity, we are looking at opposite signs in the 2 brackets. One is of a plus, the other one is of a minus. So how do we expand this? This will give us a into a minus b then plus b into a minus b, which is a squared minus ab plus ba minus b squared. And therefore, when we simplify this, these ones will cancel out because they are the same but with different signs. We remain with a squared minus b squared, and therefore we shall say that a plus b times a minus b is the same as a squared minus b squared, and this is the difference of two squares. So after looking at the identities, now let us look at the application of the identities or the examples. We are told to expand these brackets. Number one says x plus 1 into bracket squared. So if we are to expand this, then that means that we shall use the technique of a plus b squared, which gave us a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. And therefore, if you compare this with that, our a is equivalent to 2x, and then b is equivalent to 1. And therefore, this will give us 2x squared plus 2 into 2x into 1, then plus b squared, which is 1 squared. That is, if we compare this to that. So this gives us 4x squared plus 4x plus 1 as our final answer. If you look at the second example, which says 3x minus 2 squared, we shall use the knowledge of a minus b squared, since they are all minus. And now when we compare the two, our a is represented with 3x and then b is represented with 2. But remember, this is the same as a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So if we bring in 3x minus 2 squared and we compare, where there is a, we shall write 3x, that is 3x squared, minus 2 into a, which is 3x, into b, which is 2, plus b squared, which is 2 squared. That giving us 9x squared minus 12x plus 2. So that is how we shall expand that. Thank you very much. So this is our next example, which needs the knowledge of the difference of two squares. We are told to evaluate this without using a calculator or mathematical tables. We can only do that by applying the knowledge of difference of two squares, from which a squared minus b squared is equal to a plus b times a minus b. So we shall compare this to that, whereby if we have 7.25 squared minus 2.75 squared, now 7.25 is in the position of A and 2.75 is in the position of B. So when we are to work out this is the same as 7.25 plus 2.75 and then 7.25 minus 2.75. When we add this, gives us 10. When we subtract, that gives us 4.2. When we subtract, it gives us 4.5, and when we multiply, we shall have 45. So we have evaluated this without using a calculator or tables, but applying the difference of two squares. Thank you.